Today we're going to take a look at the Denon AVR E300 AV receiver. The E300 is part of Denon's E series of receivers for 2013. Along with the E300, Denon is also releasing the E200 and the E400. And I guess you could say the E in this series of speakers stands for easy. As anyone knows who's tried to set up a home theater system previously, can attest, is that the initial setup of any home theater system can be very time consuming. Typically you have tons of wires that you have to connect to the receiver, your speakers, your cable box, game systems, all of that stuff, your Blu-ray player. All that stuff needs to be connected, and it could take hours to do. One of the things that they've tried to do with the E300 this year is on the back, all of the speaker terminals are color coded. Now, the E300 also comes with a series of labels that you can apply to the speaker wires themselves that correspond to the speaker terminals on the back of the AV receiver. This really makes the whole process of connecting your speakers quite simple, and this is a very nice feature. Now, I have seen this on AV receivers that cost more than a Denon, but for a mid-range receiver like the E300 to have this is a big plus. Something else you'll notice too is the terminals themselves are spring-loaded on the back of the receiver. Basically, what you do is you press it, stick or place your wire, your bare wire into the terminal, release it, and it just locks it in place. This is nice for bare wire. I question how well it would work if you're using banana plugs, but with bare wire, it works perfectly fine. Another way that they've simplified their whole setup process is with the initial on-screen graphical display. This year, what they've tried to do is they've tried to simplify. They're using large, clear text and icons on the setup menu, taking a note from Apple, trying to make it as easy as possible for someone to run through the entire setup process and really streamline the whole thing. Like with any Denon receiver, one of the things they're known for is their discrete power amplifier design. And the E300 also falls suit with Denon's normal line of receivers. It does have 5-channel power amplifiers, which each with an identical amp circuitry for all the channels. The E300 is actually rated at a maximum wattage of 175 watts for each of its channels. I do think this is probably a slight exaggeration because most home theater receiver manufacturers, they tend to exaggerate how many watts you can actually output with the receiver, and I'm going to guess your maximal or your normal wattage is going to be somewhat less than what they're claiming here. Along with the discrete power amplifiers, the receiver also comes with 5 HDMI inputs, and it also allows 3D pass-through. The E300 does not allow 4K video pass-through or upscaling though. If you're looking for that feature, then you may want to take a look at the E400 if that's something you're really looking forward to. But considering that 4K technology really hasn't caught on yet, I'm not really sure how important that feature is right now. It's good for the future, but right now it's probably not really necessary. The E300 also comes with the Odyssey multi-Q calibration, which is a very good calibration system. Typically, you only see this on a higher-end receiver, so it's kind of a pleasant surprise to see that the E300 incorporates the multi-Q calibration system. And along with that, like with every receiver manufacturer today, Denon also has their own Android app and Apple app for your phone or Android device. Basically, this allows you to control the main features of the AV receiver. Most of these apps work pretty well. One thing I do have to say is if you really need to delve into the features of the AV receiver, personally I find it easier to just use the remote for it. Most of these apps, although they're pretty good, aren't as good as the remote that comes with the receiver, and sometimes they're almost clumsy to use. But it is a nice feature to have on it. The Denon E300 also incorporates a front USB port, which is perfect for connecting your iPod, your iPhone, your iPad, or any other USB device that you want to connect to. Good thing about this is by doing this, you can actually play your music directly through the AV receiver. You're not trying to stream it over the network or anything like that. A lot of times your music can also sound a little bit cleaner if you actually connect directly through a USB port. Overall, the Denon E300, it's a very good receiver, but it does have a few drawbacks. If you want to hear more about some of these drawbacks, take a look or visit our website, avproductreviews.com, and you can read our entire review of the Denon E300. And you can find out if the Denon E300 is the right AV receiver for you. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.